Hi, everybody. Welcome to another special edition of Hashing Out the Law. This is Meet the CCBA edition. And today's guest is my good friend, Nafisa Nina Hodjat. Hi, Nina. How are you?
Hi, great to be here.
Great to have you. Now, let's jump right into it. You're a member of the CCBA. You're also on the board. Um, and the whole purpose of these special editions is for people to get to know the board members. So let's get to know you. When did you become an attorney?
It's been a while. I became an attorney, I believe, 14 years ago now. Yeah.
Wow, 14 years ago. Okay. And then when you became an attorney, what was the first thing you did as an attorney? Meaning, what was the
You
first?
know, it's interesting.
Go ahead.
Right. So I actually didn't really start doing criminal defense until, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, full time. I started out doing more civil, and kind of the intention was to do real estate law and work with my dad's construction development company and expand that. And then it just kind of I worked for his company for several years in the beginning, and then I started doing work with a friend of mine. And some of my friends started, they got into trouble and they wanted me to help them. And I'm like, I don't do criminal law. And they said, no, we don't care. We just want you to do this. And I kind of fell into it and I just couldn't stop. I really loved it. It was just a passion of mine that I found that I fell into. And so here we are.
I was actually going to ask you how you started doing criminal law, but you answered that question. Now let's go back a little bit. You were in law school. You were going to work for your dad's company, which you did. What made you want to go to law school? What was that moment that you had that you decided that you want to be a lawyer?
I don't know that it was a moment. I actually was like in psychology, in the psychology field more, and I was more interested in kind of like neurobiology and neuropsych. And then, I just started kind of taking a couple of law classes just as electives. And I really enjoyed the empowerment, I would say, that came with knowing your rights and knowing the laws and being able to help myself and other people. And I think I just slowly realized that I could make a bigger difference in the world if I got into the legal field.
Okay, so you stumbled upon law while you were in college.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I look back, I recall my dad, I used to always go with him um, to the construction sites when I was little. And I remember we were like remodeling somebody's law office. And I mean, maybe I was like 7 years old or something, but walking in, seeing all the books and seeing everything, I just thought it was so cool. And if I look back, there's kind of like nuggets along the way that I would say influenced me. But, I don't have that like, oh, I saw To Kill a Mockingbird or whatever movie, or I saw Aaron Brockovich or something like that and thought, oh, I have to be a lawyer. It was more of like growing inside.
Now you're in college. You take these classes, which leads to my question: where'd you go for undergrad?
I went to UC Irvine.
Okay, and where did you go for law school?
I went to Hofstra University of Law. I think it's now called the Maurice Dean School of Law.
And that's in New York, right? Upstate?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's in actually Long Island, New York, and it was great because it took me out of California. And I don't know how much experience you have in New York, but it's one of the most wonderful places to be and live and learn. And I loved that our school had very strong ties to the Supreme Court. So our professors actually um, were friends with Ginsburg and Scalia, and they would teach at our summer programs at our school. So it was phenomenal. We had a wonderful litigation program. So we just learned so much hands-on stuff just in law school, which was great.
So you took classes with Scalia and Ginsburg as your professor?
I took classes with Ruthie, as we called her, as a professor, and she was lovely. I mean, so wonderful and graceful. And I mean, she really embodied what I believe to be is like true feminine power. And I really learned a lot just by being in her presence and watching her teach.
That's awesome. I didn't know that about you, so I learned something new about you. Now, you said that it was wonderful going to Hofstra because it took you out of California. Are you a California native?
Yes, I was raised in California and just never saw myself leaving, living anywhere else. But it was good. I highly recommend, living in another city if if there's anybody that's looking to go to law school. It's good. You don't make the same connections, I would say, as if you went to law school where you're going to practice. But who cares? It's like you can lead your own path and do your own thing. So go for it.
So, are you a Southern California native or a Northern California native?
Southern California. I grew up in Redondo Beach.
Okay, so LA area.
Yeah.
Okay, and so are you? Well, I'm gonna withdraw that question. The question I have for you is, if you had to do it all over again, would you be a lawyer?
I mean, I really, I really love what I do. And I would say yes. I mean, as you know, I have various hobbies that I also engage in, and I just don't really believe in the same limitations I think that people do. Um, Look at Elon Musk. I mean, he created PayPal. He's created just these remarkable companies in different industries, and nobody asks him like, "Oh, would you rather do this or rather do that?" Because he just does what he wants to do. And I feel like everybody has that opportunity, but we're so, you know, kind of like our mindsets are so limited and not creative, I think, in so many ways, even in law school, that people don't realize that you could do it. So absolutely, I would 100%, do it all over again.
I've actually know that mentality of yours because we've interacted before, and it leads me to my next question. You said you have other hobbies. One of your hobbies is cars, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I just since I was a kid, I would work on my dad's cars with him, and I just kind of like that was a little way that I bonded with my dad, and started driving when I was 9 years old, and just always was into just watching like Formula One and the IRL, all the different racing leagues, and fortunate enough to have some good friends and colleagues that are full-time automotive journalists that gave me a chance to write about some of the experiences that I've had. So just I do it when I can. I don't have that much time, but it's something that I really enjoy, and I just do it.
Right. I was going to say you're not just a hobbyist. You've actually written articles about cars and everything. And
Right? Yeah,
next time you go to the track, I'm coming with you. I don't care what.
absolutely.
So, Nina, we learned about your career as a lawyer, how you went to law school, things like that, and your passion for other areas and your hobby as a car. Now, I learned something new about you today, but I want you to tell me and the viewers something about you that we wouldn't know just by looking at your bio on the website or just looking at your, I don't know, social media, something that we wouldn't know.
Um, I mean, pretty open about everything. Mostly, I would say, I've studied meditation and yoga for a number of years, and I've actually taught meditation and yoga and breath work. And I guess one thing that a lot of people wouldn't know unless you're my client is that with my clients, I actually do, kind of like before we go into court, sometimes we just like sit there and like do some breath work or a little meditation, just to just to feel calm and centered. And as you know, as a criminal defense attorney, people just look at our clients and us and just think like we're the worst. They don't. It's so sad. I think um, that people have such a limited mindset. But so yeah, that's one thing that I do with my clients that is not, I guess, widely known.
Now, my next question has to do with the Criminal Courts Bar Association itself. So you're on the board. You've been a member for how long now?
It's almost, I think, maybe a little bit over 2 years. I think I became a member or a board member. Yeah, I think a little over 2 years.
So I want you to tell uh, the lawyers out there who are not members, who are thinking about becoming members, what the benefits that you gain from it and what you think would benefit them.
There are just so many benefits. I would say being a part of our community is a wonderful gift in and of itself. I mean, as you know, all of our board members bring something really powerful and unique and beautiful to the table, and they just care so much. And the thing that I love is that we all want to improve our craft. And so every speaker that we have and every event that we have, there's so much thought that goes into it, because we really want to provide good value for our members, but also we want to learn and grow too. So if you're not a member, I would encourage you to at least come to one of our events. And right now they're virtual, so it's really easy. And I think it's pretty easy to see why there are so many people that love our association.
That was great. We're going to make you the spokesperson, the official spokesperson of our association. I'm going to make a motion at our next meeting. Um, Nina, is there anything else you'd like to say about yourself or anything else you want others to know about you that they don't know yet?
Um, I don't think there's anything I really, I'm not really interested in myself. The thing that interests me is helping people, and the thing that interests me is helping to empower people. A lot of the work that I do with the people that I do, they are involved in these situations, and they're accused of things that are just like some of the things that people are accused of is just ridiculous, and they're just so attacked. And I love the opportunity that we have as criminal defense attorneys through working with our clients and through working with the courts to really transform a situation that somebody's in, and in juries, jury trials, to really transform the way that somebody, a member of the public, views their role and views their power, and views our justice system. I'm, saddened, but also thankful that a lot more as far as what goes on with um, our criminal justice system is becoming public. And one of the things that I think is so important that I think that people don't really talk about is the mental health of the people that are involved in the court system, but also the mental and emotional health of the officers. They are just, I know a lot of police officers and they're great people. And I've come across a lot of police officers that have really done some things that are just not, my friends who are cops would be embarrassed if they ever behave that way. And I think a lot of it is just the stress that they're under, and um, they're not trained well. It's like, just imagine that you don't know what's going to happen, if you're going to live or die, when you pull somebody over. Being in that state of constant fear in your mind is going to make people behave differently. And if they're not taken care of, um, then the stuff that we see in the news is going to happen more. So one of the things that I would love to see is just more, training, obviously just basic training, but emotional and mental training. As you know, in in our court system, we now have in California, we now have mental health diversion because so many people that are involved with, I was going to say catching a case, that basically come to court and have charges filed against them. There's a lot of mental health issues there. And I had a friend who is a psychiatrist, and she started working with one of the jails. And she said that she could not believe, she's like, some of the people that I see that are in jail, I don't understand how they're there. They should just be in a mental hospital. And they've never once in their life seen a psychiatrist. And she was shocked. So for me, I really think that in general, mental health is something that is not talked about a lot. The mental health of, just of people involved in the court system, the mental health um, of the police officers. I mean, I can imagine what the judges go through, and yeah, that's something that I hope. And I have my little assistant here who just joined me. Would you like to meet him?
Yes, please. Let's meet your assistant.
Come here, sir.
Oh, he's
This
not
is Max.
no.
This is Maximus. He
Maxim.
is he's he's my little assistant. I find him sleeping on the job sometimes.
Awesome.
You know,
That's great. That's great, Nina. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you. I enjoyed learning something new about you. And I hope that everybody takes your advice and joins the CCBA. Is there anything else before we sign off?
I just want to thank you and everybody on the board. I think we have a group of phenomenal lawyers and just great people on our board, and it's such an honor to serve with all of you.
I agree with that one. You have a good day, Nina. It was great talking to you.
Thanks, you too.